horror is beautiful. Well, more specifically, what I'm talking about is horror music and horror soundtracks. Now, my favorite genre, hands down, has to be horror. Whether that be horror films, horror games, horror comics, horror-related holidays. Halloween is my favorite holiday. Hell, I even have a pumpkin sitting on my desk. To even the subject that we are going to be talking about in this video today, horror music. Now, when it comes to horror as a genre, I personally believe it has some of the best music that any genre has ever provided. And the type of soundtracks and music that are in horror can vary drastically. And I've recently been listening to a lot of horror soundtracks and music. So guys, let me try to convince you why I think horror sounds beautiful. And let's start off talking about one of the first horror films I ever saw. Halloween was probably one of the first times I ever realized that horror could sound freaking amazing. Now, I remember watching this movie as a kid around Halloween time, obviously. There I am sitting on the couch and this movie starts playing. And when I tell you, when that title screen showed up and the iconic Halloween theme started playing, I was immediately left unsettled. There was just something that felt so off and wrong about this theme. But as I sat there watching the film, I realized that the rest of the movie also had some really great music. And funnily enough, this music actually didn't scare me as much as the main theme did. And I don't really know if it's just because I was young or if it was the first time I was watching Halloween, but every time I would walk down a dark hallway, the Halloween theme would just start playing in my head, and I would start thinking, oh my god, what if Michael Myers is right behind me? Yeah, whenever I thought about that theme, I thought about Michael Myers potentially coming to get me. This was the first time that I realized horror music could be really, really effective. And over the years, the main theme quickly became one of my favorite themes in any movie in general. And is honestly one of the most iconic themes I've ever heard. Now, when it came to the Halloween 2018 sequel slash reboot, I honestly did not think that they could match the quality of what was in the original film. Now, say what you want about the 2018 Halloween movie, the soundtrack was absolutely killer, no pun intended. Now, more specifically, a song that I am talking about is The Shape Hunts Allison. Now, if you don't know, in this scene, Michael Myers is chasing a girl named Allison, but the music that plays during the scene, wow. This has got to be one of the best evolutions of the Halloween music that has ever been. Like, god damn, this song sounded like it could be in the original Halloween movie. Yeah, it did its job pretty freaking well. I would actually go on to listen to this song on repeat, just, you know, during work, just be there like... I fell in love with this song, and it just reaffirmed why I love the Halloween movies and the Halloween soundtrack. Have you guys ever had that movie that you've attempted to watch several times and for some reason you just can't get into it? For me, that was The Shining. Now, I don't know why I couldn't get into this movie. For the longest time, I just couldn't. I would try and try and try. I must have tried watching it like 5 times. I know it's a classic. I know a lot of people love it. But finally, on my like 6th attempt, it just magically clicked. I was like, oh, this is why people love this movie. This movie's fucking amazing. But one thing that I always appreciated every time I attempted to watch it was that freaking theme. And I think that's because it perfectly captured how the movie felt and just the general vibe of the movie. Every time I would hear it, it would leave me feeling very, very unsettled, and definitely added a lot to the atmosphere of the movie. For me, it definitely captured that feeling that something bad is going to happen. And spoiler alert, something bad definitely happens in The Shining.
Here's Johnny!
Okay, picture this. The year is 1973. A new movie has just come out that's having everyone shaking in their seats. Hell, some people are even apparently fainting during this movie.
I've never in my life known a movie where people would faint. I mean, it's hard to make people faint.
And you're sitting there and you're like, how bad can it be? I'm gonna go watch this thing. You go, you watch it, and you come out thinking, damn, that was the scariest movie I have ever seen yet, because it's 1973. Yes, I am talking about the original Exorcist. Now, the original Exorcist is a movie that has always scared the absolute fuck out of me. It took the world by storm when it first released in 1973. Back then, nobody had ever really seen a movie, no one had ever really experienced a movie that was quite like The Exorcist. But yes, this movie fucking terrified me, and one of the main reasons that it did so was because of, again, its theme. If I had to just sum it up in one word, I would say that this song is terrifying. When it first starts playing, it just gives off this vibe that, oh man, you are gonna see some shit in this movie. You hear the bells ringing, it's kind of throwing you off. Yeah, this one definitely stuck with me and often would play in my head when I was trying to go to sleep at night. But yeah, this movie was absolutely terrifying, and honestly, I'm probably gonna watch it right after I'm done making this video. If there was one theme from a horror movie that I had to pick, gave me the most anxiety when it played, it would have to be the 28 Days Later / Weeks theme, otherwise known as In the House in a Heartbeat. Now, when this song plays in both of those movies, it is during some really freaking intense scenes. And oh my god, it gets amazing. In particular, I'm very fond of the moment in the second movie where this song is used. That song is playing during that scene, and wow, if you didn't get stressed out by that scene, I don't know what to tell you. Some very, very intense moments, and at least for me, one of the greatest chase scenes to ever happen in any movie. The 28 Days Later / Weeks theme is definitely one of my favorites, and is a song that I have listened to on many, many occasions. Up until this point, we have mainly talked about horror films. But if there was ever more of a perfect example for why horror sounds beautiful, look no further than the Silent Hill series. And in particular, the originals made by Team Silent. My god, if you have never played a Silent Hill game, if you've never listened to the soundtracks to these games, they are the most perfect horror soundtracks to ever exist. When Silent Hill wants to scare you, it will scare you. It can play something that sounds nothing like music at all. And on the other hand, it can play some of the most tragically beautiful music you've ever freaking heard. Man, when I tell you that music can definitely add so much to the atmosphere, whatever it's in, Silent Hill is one of the perfect examples of that. Silent Hill does not hold back any punches. It will throw whatever it has to at you to get some sort of reaction. Akira Yamaoka, the composer of Silent Hill, is an absolute genius. He absolutely knows how to scare a player, how to make them feel something, and knows how much the music can add to its media. Silent Hill is definitely one of the most depressing yet beautiful game series that I have ever played. Songs like Not Tomorrow, Theme of Laura, and my absolute favorite, Promise Reprise. All these songs emotionally hit so freaking hard for me, and I'm sure for many others as well.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
So what exactly is it about all these songs, all these soundtracks that make horror sound beautiful? Well, it's because when we watch these films, when we play these games, they can make us feel a variety of things: fear, sadness, depression, anxiety, excitement, even loss. It is my belief that horror soundtracks and scores, more than any other music, can help us deal with a lot of the struggles that we struggle with. It can make us think about those things that we hold deep down inside of us and help us deal with it. I know for me personally, there have been a lot of times I have just laid on my bed and listened to the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack when I'm feeling down. And ultimately, I feel like that really does help me out in the end. They stand out because they make us feel these feelings, because of the emotions we can get from them. And you know, for something that can be so scary and terrifying, I think that's kind of beautiful. Hey, if you're watching this, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I hope that my point came across clearly. If you guys have any thoughts on other horror music or, soundtracks that you personally love, I would love to hear about them down in the comments below. And hell, if you like this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe if you want to. But anyways, guys, this has been Rai Malik. I hope you guys have a fantastic freaking day today. Go watch a scary movie or something, play a horror game. But I will see you guys next time. Peace out.